Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and welcome to our fourth week of Duckling reveals here in the Duckling Bootcamp for Final Fantasy Randomizer. I am your restreamer and currently one of your hosts, Darkmoon EX, joined in the booth by Sir Linklot. Gregley will hopefully be joining us fairly soon, as he's right now putting his kids to bed. So, I'm going to let Sir Linklot take over for a little while here, and we are going to start going over all of the Duckling flags. Link, start us off.
Alright, well let's get the flags up on the restream so they can see what's going on. So hey everybody, I hope you've enjoyed week 3, but we're on to week 4, so we'll get to what kind of classes and everything you're going to be running. Starting off with our flags though, you're going to kind of notice the very first box is, for the most part, kind of standard on what we're seeing. The only box that might be a little different than normal is the shops are going to have the random weapons and armor. So we can find a little bit better weapons and armor, so we might want to pay a little bit more attention to what we are finding in there.
So what does that bring us up to? I know it's not elite gear because that's a different flag, but is that like up through ice swords, or what's the cutoff point?
I want to say ice sword, like ice sword, ice armor, kind of everything except like those, like basically the weapons that you have to class change, or armor you have to class change for, I believe is what that is.
Cool.
As far as the enemies, when we're getting to the enemies flags again, for the most part, pretty standard on what we're seeing. We do have a patrolling war mech like we did in week 3, as well as Astos is shuffled. The main difference this week that we have yet to see so far, so this is kind of something brand new for the Ducklings potentially, is not only are trap tiles shuffled like they were in, I believe, week 2, but we're also using the B side of the random formations. So we're going to actually see trap tiles that are not going to be normal. In the vanilla game, you see this is where potentially you could see things like 3 eyes, multiple gammas, Sarios, all sorts of fun little potentially formations we get that are very, very EXP heavy and potentially very easy to kill as well.
So we're going to move on down to treasure next then.
Yep, as far as our treasures and incentives, the first thing we're going to kind of go over is the fact that treasures are shuffled. However, we do have randomized treasures on, this time with a high random wealth. This does mean that the treasures aren't necessarily going to be exactly like they are in vanilla. Chances are they won't. With the high random wealth, we're going to find a lot more of those like kind of like elite items potentially that we're going to have. So we might actually find 4 ribbons in this case. There is a possibility we might only end up getting the 1 ribbon that's incentivized, however, as well. Kind of depends on what the randomization does.
Yeah, with the one ribbon and 1 katana being in the pool, of course, those are at least guaranteed.
Yep, those are going to be guaranteed. Other, kind of standard things, main NPC items are shuffled, fetch quest rewards are shuffled. If we look at the locations and items, we're equal, so we're not going to have any duds, no loose items. Marsh Cave and Marsh Cave Locked are both unincentivized, as well as the Vampire Chest and the bottom left chest on Sky 2.
So I'll just go quickly reveal those and show those locations because the tooltips are great for that. So Ice Cave, here we go. That one right there with the eyes, or the traditional eye chest, although with the shuffled and randomized tiles that we have, maybe not eyes. Ordeals, that one that's traditionally guarded by the zombie D. Titan's Trove, which doesn't traditionally in the vanilla game have one, but has one now, and it's that 4th one right there that you can see the little red mages at. Volcano, the red D chest there on Carrie's floor off to the left. Sea Shrine, that one that has the slab in Mermaids where you have to take that long walk on the hallway off to the left when you come in. And Canaria Locked, which is traditionally the TNT chest if you're following the vanilla fetch quests. And
no.
as we've had for the last couple weeks, the goal doesn't have anything special going on with it. Go in, kill the fiends, fight chaos, good to go.
Yep.
Maps and routing. Blake, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, maps and routing, for the most part, this is pretty standard as well. We haven't really changed too much. Northern docks are turned on. We've got early open progression. All the items are early, ordeals is early, so we don't need the crown. King, we don't need to save Sarah first. Sarda, we don't need to go kill Vampire. Sage, we don't need to kill Lich. And then as far as the map edits, Castle Ordeal pillars are randomized like they normally are. Titans Trove, so the Titans moved over so you can't just get the airship, fly over and grab the item without the ruby. And then we've got the finish hospitality, so we have the lovely inn and doctor in case we need that.
Just making sure we're all caught up here and people know that everything's going on. So you can see the inn and the pub right there. And now on to scale. Scaling looks just slightly higher than we've had in the last couple weeks, Link.
I believe maybe a little bit. I think we've been normally doing 50 to like 150. Granted, last week we had the HP for 300, 500 because, we all want to see how hard you could punch everything.
Black belts, yeah.
But not this week. Everything, enemies, bosses are both going to be 50 to 200, where their average is going to be right at a 100 mark.
Yeah, and I want to point out, even though you see that the HP here on the bosses looks like it's scaled up, that flag is not actually checked, so all you gotta do is look at the boss stats right here, and the enemy stats. So I noticed right this time around we have 50% per orb or 8 shards. That's a different EXP bonus than we've had in weeks past.
Yep, I was going to point that out. So instead of every key item you get giving you a bonus, we do need to get orbs to get that experience bonus. So might change your idea of what you want to do as soon as you can potentially get to a boss, either one of the 4 fiends and kill it. Might be going right to it to get that sweet, juicy EXP bonus before you potentially do a grind or go somewhere looking for some experience. Other than that, the encounter rate looks pretty normal for what we've been seeing. The blurst weapons and armor, notice the weapons aren't going quite as high. The armor is going a little bit higher, I believe, or a little bit, maybe just a little bit less.
It's slightly higher on the blursing, but also slightly less on the blursing too. So, on average, fairly close.
Yep, and we kind of scrolled down just a little bit already to the party composition, but if we want to go all the way down, you're going to notice we're not starting with the basic classes. We are starting immediately with the advanced classes, and if you notice your melee, if you want to run a melee this week, you're not running Knight or Master, you are using a Ninja.
I like that. That's intriguing. I like giving them promoted classes, and also that that it's only Ninja right now. Really focus on your Ninja game this week.
Yep, and one thing I do want to point out now, rather than later, because it might be forgotten, when we are starting with advanced classes, you don't have to think about this, but if you are planning on running a ninja, you do need to consider spell charges. You really don't want to try to promote your thief and before hitting level 15, so you can start getting those spell charges right away. The ninja, already being a ninja, doesn't really matter. You can get those levels whenever you want.
So, and the other thing I noticed, and this is the big change for this week, blurst classes. Link, you want to give us a rundown of what's going on with that?
Yeah, so this is something I want to say relatively new, but it has been around for quite a while now. But blurst classes add something, so we don't have any malices, so there's not going to be any kind of penalties this week. However, there are going to be bonuses, so this is going to add anything from the ninja might be able to cast white magic to, we don't have a knight or a black belt, but maybe the knight or the black belt actually having spell casting. Or potentially they can use weapons. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a thief that can also wield the Excalibur. Or, potentially, like you said, those malices you can kind of see on the tooltip. Those malices range from quite a few things to, no bracelets. So something like that on a mage means they don't have any armor. So they're going to be kind of squishy the whole way through. And we'll kind of go over it a little bit more when we get to the seed. AO is kind of waiting. He's not going to do his party select just yet, so we can kind of actually go through the bonuses and what we're seeing.
Yeah, and speaking of Ale, so just so everyone knows, I'm still waiting on the title screen, so I haven't looked at the classes. I don't know what the blessings are, so I'll be surprised along with the chat and commentary tonight.
And we will have all the traditional conveniences that we expect for the Duckling flags at this point, and that includes the auto-sort inventory, so your heal pots are at the top, as well as NPC guillotines. So if an NPC that only has one line of dialogue in the game gets in your way, you can eliminate them by pressing A and talking to them, and they'll puff out of your way, and you'll be good to continue progressing. good for those bats in like Earthcade. So.
Yep, kind of the same thing with bug fixes and rebalancing. It's pretty standard from what you see on a normal seed. I mean, we have the black belt crit rate compared to last week, but you know, you can't bring a black belt, so it doesn't really matter.
You wouldn't even notice anyway. And then, of course, just because we like it, we point it out every time. I don't know, Ale, are you running multi-instrumentalist Sarah?
I am, yes. It's the best flag ever.
It's fantastic. It replaces Sarah's traditional item of the lute with one of like 75 potential other musical instruments. So when you see them get something like a theremin or a clarinet or a flute, that's because it's been swapped out and any one of those instruments could show up. Don't worry about it. That's just part of the game now. So, Link, you got anything else for us before we switch on over to Ale and start listening to his music?
Nope. I mean, the only other thing, if you click on experimental, we do have the shop information that we've had on the last couple weeks. There is one experimental flag that's turned on, which is remove tail, but we don't need the tail because we're starting with the advanced shop. That's probably why we've got it removed, so it can't accidentally take one of those lovely incentive locations that we might want.
Yes. That is a good thing to point out. I honestly, and this is something good for the Ducks to note, because I didn't realize this in years past, or even months past, experimental didn't work on the live site, so it's good to see that experimental now works into something for everyone that they can actually use. Cool.
Yeah, but other than that, I think we are good to switch over to Ale so we can get to that party select and we can see what kind of bonuses our mages and ninja got.
Yep, audio switched over. We are good to go for you, Ale, if you want to start. What are you thinking? Like, if you didn't have Blur's glasses on, what would you be thinking for this party?
I was running it, testing some of the flags out over the past weeks, and with this particular comp and the restrictions we have, I'm kind of digging the double ninja white-black. But I'm going to kind of settle on that once we see what all these blur things are. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
So one thing I will note, while we're waiting for Ale to bring up the first one, the ninja, to actually tell what the blurring is. You can just hit select when you're on the character select screen or your class select screen, and you'll bring up this nice little window here that says bonus. So our ninjas are getting an extra 15 hit percentage right from the start, and they're getting an extra 20 HP.
And it's worth noting that this week there are zero malices turned on, so everything is going to be just bonuses, no penalties.
All right, our red wizard is getting plus 15 vitality, plus 2 level 1 MP. Our white wizard has black belt's vitality and plus 40 HP.
Ooh, that's nice.
And our black wizard has improved MP and a fighter's strength.
That is intriguing. So your black wizard is still going to be squishy, but could swing like the cat claw, for example, with a fair bit of power behind it. And the fact that the white wizard has a lot of health to it's also kind of nice. Although I think I like the fact that the red wizard has the extra MP at level 1 too. That could make them very... I don't even know. I like, what? Ninja Rainbow? What would you do?
So, I guess I want to point this out because for the most part, all of those bonuses, they were kind of self-explanatory. The only one that wasn't really self-explanatory was the improved MP. According to what I'm seeing, what that is you gain 1 spell charge for all spell levels every 2 levels. So that does mean that black wizard is going to be able to start casting level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right away as well.
Wow. Well, we'll want to see that in action too, of course. So it looks like Ale is definitely going with the red rainbow, or ninja rainbow. That's probably what I would have done. Sir Link, with the bonuses you saw, what would you have done?
With the bonuses I saw, I would probably do the same thing, just because, and this is something you have to think about, since we're going over like ninjas. Ninjas are not as survivable as a knight or a black belt. They don't get the same health. So when we get, especially when we get to Topher and things like that, if we're like lacking ribbons, anything like that, the ninja is going to be very susceptible to multiple AoE casts in a row if we don't have a ribbon on the ninja, compared to like a knight or a black belt who can, they might be able to take a couple nukes just because they have so much health, whereas the ninja, maybe not so much. The red wizard and the white wizard kind of give you that extra survivability when you get into those fights, potentially where that white magic lands.
Awesome. All right, I think we're ready to release you, Ale, if you want to start it up.
Awesome, yeah. I'm ready when you guys are, so.
Go on ahead, sir. We'll start the timer when we see you moving.
Oh, I see how it is. We finished with the flags, and that's when Greg Lee shows up. He just didn't want to have to go over all the flags. That's what it was.
That's exactly it.
Greg, are you taking over from me then?
I mean, you know, I can.
Yeah, go for it. Oh.
Yeah, I could probably hang out here and see what's going on if I can ever get the screen to load. But
Take it away, guys.
sweet.
All right. Well, we're in the white magic.
Ale's
We're
just
probably gonna
trolling.
go back there.
Brack,
So yes.
Brack here, Kier
Yeah.
3, those are the ones I saw that were worthwhile.
Yep, it looked like Brack was kind of the only good like black magic, but since we're already promoted that Red Wizard can already get Cure 3, we don't have to wait on that. You know, if I guess I might almost buy soft on my at least the White Wizard, just because soft potions can be expensive right away, and then you at least
That's a
have
fair
it.
call. Wow, Night Gear is in here as well. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's
So, yeah,
that's a lot of elite gear that I was not expecting to be in there.
yeah, too bad most of it can't be used. We do have a Dragon +1 sword potentially later, but yeah,
That was
we
was
did
that
have
a-
the ice shield and gold +5 bracelet.
Gold +5. That I was gonna ask if that was what I saw. So that is actually really nice to see. That gold +5 is honestly kind of the end game for everyone you have in your party, even for the ninja, until maybe you find something better if that even exists.
Yeah, potentially like the ice or flame armor.
Yeah. So looks like Ale's heading up to the old Toph. See what's hanging out in here. You know, maybe we'll find some good stuff in here.
Just saying, you have to love seeing a white wizard starting with 68 health.
Yeah, that feels pretty good. I totally missed what all the different blursiness. So do you guys mind, or do you mind cluing me in real quick? Let me know what two things each person got.
Let's see. I remember the ninja got plus 15% hit, and I can't remember the second one, or plus 20. Looks like Ale's going to actually go back and show it for you.
Right.
Plus 20 health.
Ooh, I didn't know you could do this on the screen. That's pretty dope.
Yep.
+2 to level 1 MP. That's pretty good. Plus the vitality. That's just extra hit points. Black belt by man. White mage is going to have tons of HP by the end of this. And improve. Okay, nice. So not too bad. Not too bad. All right. So that dragon armor is going to be good vendor gear since nobody in this party can equip that. I imagine a few Bracks will come out. Brack's going to take care of business. So we'll see what we got. Ooh, you gotta love seeing the key like early on, right? That's a lot of free checks.
I mean, the key's nice, but what about that sweet tambourine?
Oh my gosh, I know. Tambourine. You know, I would definitely trade in my stringed instrument for a little percussion, for sure. It's a little bit of money. Ooh, wood +6. That's actually like normally I would look at a wood armor and just go, nah, it's wood armor. But that +6 gets rid of all its terrible evasion. And what do you got? Like 4 plus 12? I mean, that's pretty awesome little gear right there. Let's see what he decides to do. I'm assuming he's going to get rid of that dragon armor he doesn't need.
Yep, got that and picked up that ice shield. So yeah, that ninja's already looking pretty decent on the defense right now.
Yeah, probably grab that. I was interested to see if he'd grab the dragon sword just for just to entertain us there, but it doesn't look like he's that interested.
Nah, not that interested. It looks like we're going.
We are going to check some spike tiles, it looks like.
Oh yes, we are.
I'm assuming we have the old shuffle-roni here. Are we doing...
Also, B-side tiles are turned on too. So
Yeah, and this is a good call here. Good thing we got imps. I think he's too terribly excited to see that.
yeah, probably not what you're looking for. We got some nice glove +3 though.
Yeah. So Davis in chat wondering what B-side actually means. So normally in the game, you got spike tiles. They're always going to be kind of the same. That particular one is gargoyles. And then, of course, everyone knows the eye tile and the agama tile and all that stuff. Each spike tile just generates a battle. Every time you touch that tile, it will generate the same battle. You can shuffle them, which is like the the normal spike tiles like the Eye, the Agama, Wizards, all that jazz, into different spike tiles. But what we have on is what people call the B-side tiles, which is it just basically means different encounters get shuffled into those spike tiles that aren't normally spike tile encounters. And they're usually like the more rare encounters, encounters you don't usually see throughout the game, or the number 8 encounters. So like, you know, big groups of Gasties, you get the double fighter tile, you can get like 3 eyes instead of just 1 eye, you know. And that's kind of the quick rundown of that. So what are we doing here? What are we looking at? Invis 2, that's not bad. Pretty happy with that.
Invis 2, heal 2, those are nice, some nice level 2 white magic.
Not too bad. What do we got here? I got more trashy black magic. Feels pretty bad when Lit 2 is your best sweeper spell that you have in first couple of slots there.
I mean, at least it is a sweeper, and I got an Ice +1 sword. That's an expensive Ice +1 sword. So yeah, I don't blame going for the Wear sword instead.
Yeah, the past tense sword, always pretty good. Normally the thief could not equip that, but since we are starting with a ninja, he can actually equip it. The good thing about the ninja here is that basically ninja can equip any weapon except for what, Excal, right?
I want to say Excal and one other weapon. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'll think about it, and then it's probably something silly like Thor's hammer or something like that. But yeah, you can pretty much equip everything. So starting off with the ninja it is pretty nice as far as being able to equip any sort of weapon is concerned. I do love how pretty much all 9 pirates got to go before one of those 2 Lit 2s went out. So I probably,
of course,
got a crown. So what are you thinking right now? We've got a crown. Obviously, we're going to probably turn that in. We got the canoe. Got some camping gear. Where are you heading? Besides turning in the crown, where are you heading after that? Gonna hit up Elf one?
So I'm actually thinking I'm going to go in a big old circle. I think I'm going to head on down, even though Ice and Volcano are both incentives tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to risk going through the river system and just going and checking Crescent Lake real quick, just in case they have the floater for me.
Yeah, I don't blame that plan. Because we don't have a ship right now, correct?
Correct, yep.
So you'd have to go the other way anyway. So, and yeah, going into Ice Cave or Volcano with Lit 2 and Brack and Hopes and Dreams, probably not a good idea.
And I'm regretting everything already.
Yeah.
So I did go ahead and look to find out what that other weapon that the ninja could not equip. Oh yeah, Karee's with poison. Look at that. So the other weapon that the ninja cannot equip is the wizard staff.
Ah, there it is. Somebody said power staff in chat, so we told them. All right, I mean, so
they were on the right line. They did say staff.
They did. Well, there you go. So you got Kareebs with with poison, and you got Gators that are gonna up their evasion a little bit. That's something. All right, what do we got in here? We got an expensive crystal. So that was actually kind of a good call to come here. So we got our vendor item. It's the rare occasion where the wood armor actually rolled better than the chain armor.
Nothing to write home about in the weapon shop.
Yeah, we got a red wizard learnable fade, and warp should be black mage learnable, but not going to be able to cast that until we're level 16. So good to throw in the back of your mind there, but obviously nothing we're going to pick up right now. And there's an herb to more. Sorry, going ahead.
I was going to say, actually, with the improved MP, supposedly what it says, like, I don't know if you want to check your MP, which is true. There it is. He gets that MP, so he can already cast warp.
Oh, man, this game is showing me all kinds of stuff. I don't even know what's going on anymore. It just moves so quickly. But hey, that's pretty awesome that you got warp there. That makes like an ice dive not as scary. Interesting play here. And of course, something has to have something.
Of course, trolls with squint, why not?
Yeah, why the heck not? At least they're not hitting too hard. That wood armor actually doing something there. goes down pretty easily to the attack and a couple lit 2s. Trolls are actually not too bad for trying to get money, which is clearly what Ale's trying to do right now. I'm assuming he wants to get the crystal while he's here. That way he can knock out all 3 fetch quests because they're all in the inner sea. Not a bad play. And you may as well grab levels while you're at it anyway. Plus, this is probably one of the better places to do any sort of overworld grind is right around Crescent, or you can go to the Peninsula of Power, but it's kind of out of the way.
Not to mention the Peninsula of Power with only lit 2. That seems that might be kind of scary.
Yeah. So right now, what Ale's doing is he's checking all the. There's actually 3 encounter zones in this area. So there's one right next to Crescent. There's one just south of Crescent, which is where he was located, and then there's one to the east of Crescent here, which is where he's currently at. So he's doing a hard reset, and he's checking all 3 of those areas, probably looking for something that gives better money, like maybe giants and trolls. Normally, you would want to see peds to get levels, but obviously levels is not what he's trying to do right now. He's trying to get money more than anything, because it's going to take a little bit to get to that, what was that, 27,000?
Yeah, like 24, 27, something like that.
So yeah, right now we're just kind of looking around, seeing what we got. I'm thinking the bulls and the trolls might be the best one, but again, I think he's now checking to see what's after encounter number 1.
A long run, that's what's there.
Clearly, and more cobras and scorpions, just the thing you want to see. So realizing that he doesn't feel like dealing with trolls with squint and not really getting the encounters he wants to see here, he's going to go on ahead and hit up the armory. I like this play. Oh no, he's not. Where is he going? This crazy guy.
That lovely level 6 warp that we already have a charge for at level 6. We're making the ice play now that's not scary anymore.
Yeah. So there's 2 things. I'm actually, if Ale wants to pull himself in here, I'd like to hear his thought between why he decided to choose ice versus maybe just like diving Volcano Armory and seeing if there's money there to get the crystal. If he wants to, he can talk to us.
He is muted.
Oh, he's got 3 warps. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason I was doing it, I was really just hoping for some kind of cash mobs like you guys were talking about. Just to maybe get a couple extra levels for some more warp charges real quick, and also get to get some cash. But now that we have 3 warp charges, I feel I can just get in here and get out. And yeah, I won't be checking like the bottom of ice necessarily, but I'll hit the incentive. I'll hit the other 2 with the warp trick, and I can get out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Then I've got a couple houses so that I can go down. Then I can hit up maybe armory, depending on what we find in the boxes here.
Yeah. So you can check 3 boxes pretty easily with warp, and yeah, with 3 warp charges, you only have to worry about that particular room that he just went through, which only has 4 tiles in it, so he should be fine. He's lucking out and not running into any unrunnables or any of those kind of big undead packs that hit kind of hard. So he should be good here. Get away from these sorcerers.
And this is kind of one of the nice things that we're talking about, running ninja.
And he completely just whiffs it. Unfortunately, loses one of his.
I may have been laughing at myself there. Sorry.
So, and now he's going to go on ahead and I guess check these boxes since he can't really warp his way back out of here.
Yeah, I figured now I'll just check these 6 and hope for something good.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a good spike tile or something. Not that you would want to grind at this, unless it's something super easy you can take down. Excal 3, there's your vendor sword. So Excal 3, obviously, while great for a knight-based party, we don't have a knight, and it's one of the only swords that the ninja can equip. So obviously, we will be selling that. And since it's one of the later gears in the game, it should sell pretty well, as will that Pro Cape. I can't imagine him wanting to use that Pro Cape -3, and we get a ship for our troubles. Now, I was going to say, before we move on here, this is a good learning experience here. In chat, where do we think the ship is going to spawn? I don't want anybody in booth to answer this, but in chat, if you find a ship in Ice Cave, where do you think that ship is going to spawn? Huh? All right. Looks like Chagrin. Chanigan. Chanigan. God, I can't read. Chanigan's right. Yes, it will in fact spawn at Provoca. It is the closest port on the inner sea to Ice Cave, and it uses logic based on without any map edits. So obviously from Ice Cave, you can't get to Elfland through the river system because it would be blocked normally in the vanilla game. So that's why it chooses Provoca to spawn the ship. And it always has to be in the inner sea. The end.
And don't forget don't worry if you forget about it, because I'm sure every vet has been, when the first time it's happened, like, I got the ship in ice, let's go to Elfland. Where's my ship?
Yeah. So right now, it looks like he's going to bring his red mage back to life. Going to go get a ship, save the game here, probably sell that Excalibur Pro Cape so he can get the money.
This ship talk made me forget that the crystal is down in Crescent Lake.
I know. I thought about that too, but you know what? It's fine. You can always dock your ship right down here, which is what it looks like you're going to do. Also, as new players, don't forget that you can dock your ship at any one of these random river systems. I know it's kind of unusual because in the vanilla game you wouldn't normally do that, but there's tons of different areas that you can dock your ship onto river systems that actually make things a lot quicker. So we're going to see what this Pro Cape sells for. Pretty good money. It gets us pretty close to there. I'm sure the Excal will get us the rest of the way. It's a little bit cheaper than I expected that to be.
Yeah, that Excal feels like that rolled down on the price by a good amount, but it was enough to get us the crystals, so
that ended up working out okay. So we didn't have to do a double dive of Volcano. We got everything we kind of needed out of Ice Cave, and it was kind of a safe Ice Cave. So overall, that was a win-win-win. Winner. So now at this point, what do? You've got Crystal Herb, Crown. You got a lot of things you got to do. So I'm assuming, let's see what Ale's going to do.
Looks like Crystal first.
Yeah. All of which will be easy checks. So yeah, it looks like he's going to go do the Crystal turn in first.
Which I do like this because, and Ale, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm thinking you're feeling like if you find the Adamant or the TNT, you would like to get that first before getting close to Northwest Castle.
Yeah, that's one of the big driving forces behind it. Honestly, the biggest reason I wanted to go here first was she's got 3 boxes that I can raid, and I only had 600 gold. I did not want to go into Elfland with no money. And risk like maybe something not coming out of Armory, and it just kind of happened as luck would have it that she did give us the Adamant, so
yeah,
I can go visit the dwarves first too.
And Ale on the old, it's very unusual at level 6 not to be able to cast level 6 magic spells. Decided to walk it out instead of using warp, but I'm sure he won't forget that next time.
Now that you said it, he's going to do it on purpose.
So interesting that you decided to check this instead of doing the crown turn-in. What's your reasoning behind that?
I'm going to head south after doing dwarves anyways. And of course, I'm sure now that you brought it up, I'm going to get Commentator cursed, and I'm going to get the TNT, and I'll be right back here. So
that's kind of what I was getting at here, was to maybe do the other turn-ins, but hoping that maybe you can just do a single dwarf dive. But now we're guaranteed at least a double dive here.
Hey, it's fine. We've got a warp that we shouldn't have. So
yeah.
Nice pro ring.
Yeah, big roll up on the pro ring. Another vendor's item there with that heel stick. So money's not going to be much of an issue. at least hopefully shouldn't be an issue once we're going into here. And see how Ale is using all those river system docks. I mean, that saves so much time as opposed to docking at Elfland. Of course.
And as we've said before, Astos is shuffled, so we actually do have the good old kindly king of Northwest Castle.
I'm sorry, Ale.
No, it's fine. I did it to myself.
So here goes one of the. Yeah, here goes one of the. This isn't like. This is mid to high tier, except for the whole having poison that we're now realizing could potentially be on the Medusa script. Because how many enemies have poison in vanilla? I think only one, right?
I'm not actually sure. All I know is we're probably not taking this tile again.
Oh, no. I just don't. I know it's the Gasti, but I don't know like how many poisons it has in its repertoire or whatever. And if all the poisons in its 5 poisons vanilla. Look at that, Burt Reynolds coming out here helping us out, teaching us what we should know before we start talking.
Evil men with a spell script.
Yeah, that battle is actually not the worst battle in the history of time as well. Pretty good experience when you have more than one evil men, but obviously it's not a fun battle. Not a fun.
Also, just saying, since we did bring it up earlier, we did calm Curse Hail because TNT from Northwest Castle, so we get that second trip right away for the rod.
Yeah, it's still. It may have cost like what, 60 seconds. That's not too bad.
And some question I want to ask Ale: getting the rod, knowing that the experience bonus is from orbs rather than key items, when are you considering that Earth type to go get Lich now?
I'm going to consider it since I have something to kill him with. Because I'm not trusting Lit 2 for it.
Well, we'll see what we got here at level 3 and 4. Is Ale doing the smart move there before even considering the option of shopping? He's going to probably raid these 4 boxes here just to, pad the gold. Yeah, Axiel still, I mean, warp's just it's optional.
Hey, we got more money with that Procape.
I was going to say, we know that Procape sells for about 15,000 or so.
Yeah, another kind of free gold bracelet too. So
yeah. Sarasan in chat pointing out to you, Ale, you're quite bold talking to the elf prince there without saving. Could have been Asta. She had Lit 2 him down, but we got the big spell there at Nuke at level 3. That's a huge pickup. That's a lot of Nuke getting thrown around here, especially after level 15.
yeah, I feel like Lich is on the table at this point.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Good spells here in Life and Heal 3. That's Heal 3 basically. That saves a lot of heal pots.
That on the other hand, that you hate to see that.
Nothing worse than seeing Fast and Temper on the same slot, but that's still a lot of tempers that you're able to throw out. You only need 1 Fast to go off per battle. As long as you, and then when you're talking about Topher, you only need potentially 4 Fasts, and then the rest of those little slots can be used towards Temper. So as long as you, ration properly, you should be fine. Get rid of that Procape and let's see what we got here. Pro rings are for sale. That wasn't guaranteed because of obviously the random stuff in the shops. So yeah, Ale's already told us he's probably going to go hit up Earth Cave with the rod. We don't have a canal, so that's fun.
I forgot about that. So, knowing what we know, there's only one location for either the canal or the floater.
Yeah. Well, that means he's got to go kill Carrie, huh?
Or at least get down to the bottom. But yeah, I would imagine we might see that carry kill.
So what's your plan here, Ale? Do you think are you gonna check some boxes on the way down just to try to get some extra experience, or are you gonna conserve all of these nuke charges and just make a beeline to Carrie?
Well, I only have 5 nukes at the moment, so I'm gonna gamble here, and I'm gonna hope that I find a decent tile to get some quick levels on. Because as much as it is fun to say it, a level 7 volcano dive / carry kill doesn't always feel that great.
No. Now I will say this nacho tile is not going to be bad, especially if the first spell that they throw out is blind. We just got to make sure that A, it rolls kind of low on the experience, and B, it doesn't also have a skills spell or a skills script.
Didn't look like it had the greatest amount of health either, assuming that nuke rolls a little bit better if we go back to it.
Yeah, we are going to check the Grey Worm tile and another gold bracelet. Each one of those gold bracelets just saving you so much money.
And a Thor hammer as well.
Yeah, nice. That's that's not only a good melee weapon for your white mage if you ever need her to attack, but it casts lit too as well. And this is the big one right here. As long as these guys aren't annoying, I think you should be fine.
That doesn't look too annoying to me.
No, it should be good. I think move either that Zeus Gauntlet or that Thor's Hammer up to your ninja. You got like lit 2s for days. And exactly what he's about to do. Black shirt as well. It rolled down, but that's free ice 2s, which would do pretty well against that battle. So yeah, we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. What level are you thinking about there, Ale?
Probably 13, 14. I'm not going to stay here too long.
Of course, Gersharks do have a skill script there with that slep coming out. Luckily, didn't land on anybody. Take the whole party to 42. I think that's a good idea. Oh, look at that turn order. I'm starting to get a little nervous here. As annoying as Slep is going to be, I doubt anybody wants to see what's after Slep. So overall, we know at this point, the more levels you get, obviously, the more HP you get, the harder you hit with that ninja, the more of those nuke charges that you get. It's one of those things that definitely makes sense to go on ahead and take this battle. And I would consider the Gershark Wisahag, again, kind of that mage fighter tile and, tierage as far as like where you're going to, how I feel about the experience it gives you. It's not like the absolute 100% best tile you can grind on, but it's good. It's a good one.
Especially if you don't see anything scary from them, which, Slep is the scariest thing we ended up seeing. And they didn't have a great amount of HP. And when you've got 2 items that can cast Lit 2 plus 2 casters with Lit 2, it's not really a scary tile for some nice, not necessarily free experience, but easy experience.
Yeah. Duke, I was going to say Duke Firebird answered the question I was just about to answer from Weirdo Wizard there. It's all based on the amount of experience you get and the amount of time that you're going to be there. So I would say some of the top tier ones are, of course, the 3i, just because eyes in general don't have much HP. And when they're shuffled, they could potentially not have a skills or spell script. And usually it's about 3 rounds of combat, one per eye, right? And they give very good experience. The other one that I tend to like a lot is like the double fighter, single double fighter. While it's not a great one as far as experience, I mean, it's good for experience, but it's just a quick one. It's another quick one. Then there's like the other ones that are just great experience in general, like the 4 worms. But those can get kind of scary because the worms are usually beefy and vanilla, and if they roll up and they have like 700 or 800 HP, and you can't kill them in less than 3 or 4 rounds, and they're hitting you really hard, then it's not like the greatest thing in the world. But then, of course, as Davis is pointing out in chat, location's also huge too. Like, there's nothing worse than grinding something in a scary spot. I'm looking at you, Sharknado Room. So we're gonna try to light up our first orb here as we got Nuke coming out for 173. Gonna throw some Invis too. I don't mind that play at all. Defense sword, nice. Give and carry the respect that she deserves. It's a little bit more of the same. Just throwing out some nukes. Hey, I was gonna say that should probably do it here.
Yeah, carry rolled down on the HP, it looked like there, because I don't think we hit 600.
No, I don't think so either. So we got our canal, which means that what do we have left to look for the floater? Do we have Northern Docks on or no?
Yes, Northern Docks is on, so that would be Waterfall Ordeals and Sea Shrine Incentive is also turned on.
Yeah, because we do have the Oxyale, right?
Yep, we do have the Oxyale, so one of those 3 locations.
No. So kind of back to a grind tile, like if you can, like obviously the best one you're going to find is if you can find like quad-exable worms that aren't like just beating your party up, then that's really going to be the best as far as getting the experience you need. I mean, you can take a few of those down and then boom, all of a sudden you're already in your 40s. But yeah, I mean, especially with B tiles, the tiles generally give better experience, but you're not always guaranteed to find a good tile to do a solo grind on. A lot of those tiles are better for full party grinds. Solid's right. All of a sudden you are in your 40s.
I mean, when that 4 worm tile like you were talking about, if you have enough of an experience bonus and things like that, you can see like 10,000 experience for your entire party. So yeah, it doesn't take too long when you see that if the worms are easy to kill.
Yeah. So looks like Ale, remembering about the pro rings here, gonna grab flame armor, which is flame and ice armor are the best armor that the thief can equip. And since it rolls up a +3, it's basically going to be pretty close to an opal armor, a vanilla opal armor. So that ninja is just going to be pretty tanky at this point.
And has some nice resistances without the ribbon so far. It's got the flame armor, ice shield, so protect against fire and ice right now.
Yep, and the pro ring will protect against death elemental. So overall, like you said, nice protections here. So we've killed our first fiend. We got our extra 50% right experience.
Yep, first one is dead.
Yep, and it looks like he is going to go on ahead and just go down and teach Lich a lesson so he can get another 50% more experience. That way, if he needs to grind, he'll, be able to get those experience points quicker. So Ale doing the check here. Oh, look at this. You sure you don't want to grind this, Ale?
Absolutely not.
Oh man, and Badman, you didn't even like look at those Badmen. You were like, nah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
See, I would have done a cheeky kill on those badmen just because of the fact I ambushed them, and probably that's the only fight I would have taken.
Yeah, I'd considered it, but I'm not checking for a grind. I'm just trying to show off some of like the B-side encounters by hitting up these spike tiles.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of at the point doing that early grind. I can't imagine you'll need to grind. It just depends on what you want your end levels to be. Now, the thing with the thief, usually with a fighter-based comp, low 20s, pretty good, pretty standard to go into Topher. When you're running a thief lead, you kind of want to be a little bit higher because of the thief's HP growth. It's not very good.
Yeah, and sadly he didn't get all those nice little bonuses that the rest did when it came to their HP.
Yeah. So
fine. Asher chest paying out.
Yeah, I see that. Big pickup there. Asher's not even sure why we call it the Asher chest, but it's there.
Mm-hmm.
and it pays dividends in a ribbon. So, I mean, you got to be feeling pretty good, huh? We got pro rings that rolled up. We got gold bracelets that also rolled up. We've got gear on everybody. We're just looking for a sword, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I know we have our incentive katana, but the nice thing with the randomized treasures is you might find just the incentive katana. You might end up with, 6 different mosses dropping. So, you know what? I figure the more the merrier. I got options at this point.
Yeah. And Chat 49, you do have the defense +3.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. Not a great crit rate, but it's fine.
In a pinch, it works.
Yeah, it'll do fine. And big old pickup there in the Earth incentive chest there. You're going to show us these two off the beaten path spike tiles? Not even a little bit. Not even interested.
Yeah, I can go back if you'd like me to.
Nah, it's all good. You can look at them if you want to. I'm sure we'll go over spike tiles at some time. All the different ones in different rooms. But yeah, in the top right room there's 2 different spike tiles. One normally houses sphinxes, and the other houses whiz ogres, not whiz ogres, sorry, gur ogres and hyenas.
I believe that's what it is.
Pretty sure that's correct. It might be whiz ogres and hyenas. I know hyenas is one of them. So
We'll find out.
yeah, Ale making short work of Earth Cave here is about to take on Lich. I imagine this battle's not going to be too out of control unless Lich decides to roll all of Tiamat's skills. And no, it just goes down to 1 nuke. Just cowers in defeat.
So according to the reference I have, it's actually just whiz ogres in that other spike tile there.
Ah. So overall, we've got what are we at? Like 100% more experience now. So basically double the experience we had before killing those last 2 fiends. Ooh. Great white magic here. I mean, 3 awesome spells. Even Ruse would be nice if we didn't have that defense sword. Quadex kind of loses its value at this point. I mean, I love Quadex because, you kill pretty much anything under 300 HP. But at level 5, it's all right.
It doesn't help that we don't have the money for it either, so...
That's true. That'll do it sometimes. So where are we heading here, Mr. Ale? Where are you thinking?
We're going to go visit our friends in Ordeals.
All right, I like it. So we're going to do the Ordeals check, and then I'm assuming head westerly to Waterfall and Sea.
Yeah, that would be it, yeah.
Now, what makes you decide to do this check versus doing the double check at Waterfall and Sea Shrine first?
I like doing this one just because I feel like it's faster using the boat. So if we go to Waterfall and we end up with the... Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought as I'm trying to go through these pillars here. If we were going over to like Waterfall first and we get the floater, I feel like it's still kind of out of the way to have to go over and land the airship in the desert and then come all the way back to this spot.
I should not be asking you questions while you're trying to remember the pillars. So just remember, just we'll talk.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll figure it out eventually. That's what warp is for.
So as you can see, if anybody's brand new, first off, you go into ordeals. This flag is always on all the time. It's so rare that vanilla tiles are, or that vanilla, what are those things called? Pillars are on. So you got to kind of make your way through ordeals as a brand new ordeals. Warp is huge in that regard because obviously you can always warp back to the previous pillar if you choose poorly.
And also, warp being one of those spells you normally would not have in vanilla at this point because it requires class change, and you find the tail here.
Yep. So yeah, looks like we got money, more vendor gear. Nothing great, just helps us afford things later on in the game. And there's our cube, so that is required. So it ended up actually being a good choice for Mr. Ale there because, well, now he doesn't have to walk all the way to ordeals to get his required cube.
Which, actually thinking about it, we only actually need the chime to be in Como because Northern Docks are on. Floater's technically not required unless it's locking the chime at this point.
Yeah, and Ale living dangerously here has not saved. So we're going to see how this goes for him. It only takes one time of leaving a dungeon with your key item, taking one step and, you know, hitting Sphinxes with nuke for me to go, oh yeah, maybe I should save all the time. So Waterfall, we're going to hit that up first before doing Sea Shrine. Makes sense. I like that play.
Yeah, especially considering kind of like how we mentioned, I guess, other than looking for a weapon, that might be something that kind of guides Ale to still potentially checking some incentive locations, hoping for the katana.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine with the weapon layout, I mean, if you've got a free defense or if you've got a free katana and you know it's out there, you're probably going to still try to find it, even if you don't even if you're in go mode first, just because that defense +3 is your best weapon. And let's be honest, the katana, even if it rolls negative something, it'd probably be better than the defense +3.
Yeah, because how we alluded to the fact that the ninja doesn't have the HP growth of the black belt or the fighter. It's one of those things. The defense sword works, but it takes time to kind of get going on a fight. That's not necessarily time you have when you're running with a ninja in that lower HP value.
No. If Ale wants to answer MG Weirdo's question, we all would like to know the answer to this.
I mean, we haven't turned into Ale Markin's School of Ship Crashing yet, so we still got some. We're still expanding in the coming semesters, but yeah, we got to have the floater do the airship landing school. That's the important part.
This is definitely one of those more top tier grinds, especially if you're trying to solo it. Not so much when they have slow, however, but this would be a good one if you wanted to pick up a few extra levels, maybe burn off all your nuke charges before you warped out of here. Depends on if that's what Ale wants to do. He's got pretty good levels now, so. And more kind of fetch questy things in that ruby. And another gold +5. How many of those exist?
Another X-Cal, too.
Man, lucky you. Yeah, so it does look like he's going to burn off these last couple of nuke charges before heading into Ice Cave. Or Ice Cave. Sea Shrine. Sea Cave.
We did Ice Cave already. It's okay. We were at level 6 or 7, so I don't blame you for forgetting, because most people are like, I'm going to do this at level 6 or 7. It's okay.
It's fine. Everything's good. Yeah, these Sarias have a little bit more HP than I think Ale wants to see on them. Plus, with the slow spell, it's just not going as quick as you probably hope.
Yeah, slow and stun are making it no fun, so we're going to go ahead and just leave.
Yeah. You would really, especially with 4 Light Warriors, you want this battle to go down in 1 round of combat, not 2. So, using this free warp, and of course doesn't save, so now he gets to take on this unrunnable encounter. It's like
He got lucky with the Karib. Didn't cast.
I know. I was gonna say at least he's got a ribbon. Still living dangerously. Took a couple of little rows there before saving. Gonna go on ahead and heal up or grab everything he needs. A bunch of tents. I imagine at least like a house or two. Yep. And then, with exit and warp, I mean, checking mermaids is going to take all of like maybe 90 seconds to get down there.
And for those in chat kind of wondering, because I know AO looked like he was about to go check the spell shops and then kind of second guess, like, never mind. Chances are, in AO, again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we've pretty much seen every spell we really need. At this point, we might not have bought them, so there's really nothing we can see.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've seen both lives. You've seen Rouge, you've seen Invis 2, you've seen Fast Temper, Nuke. I mean, I can't think of... We've seen Cure 4. I can't think of a single spell that you would need, especially at level 7. There it is.
There is our floater.
So, believe it or not, it is actually quicker by maybe 2 tiles to use warp from that room and then go back into mermaids than it is to walk it out and go back around. I don't remember the exact step count. I know somebody did it, but it's maybe 2 or 3 steps. And Ale just ruining all these mermaids.
Are we gonna become bubbles? You sure are.
Yeah, who needs Kraken to do it when Ale's down there just wrecking the mermaids?
AO's the real Kraken.
I was gonna say, Ale doing his best Kafka impression.
I mean, I gotta take that on somebody. I did a system image refresh the other day, so my fun flags weren't set properly, so I can't kill Hooray Dwarf tonight, which makes me very, very sad. So I've got to take it out on the other NPCs.
All right, so forcing you to get EXP and wasting time is going to be unrunnable sea snakes and sea trolls. I don't know what it is about sea snakes. They always roll. I mean, I know they have a good bit of HP in vanilla. They always seem to roll high. They always have just enough HP to where one nuke doesn't take them down.
And when they roll down, then they just have something scary and you don't want to see them ever again.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I know we only have 200 HP, but what do you think about poison damage and death touch? Well. So Ale kind of making short work of this place. Knows he's going to get a free katana. Knows he pretty much has everything he needs. Going to check free boxes along the way. I like the check of those two. I like checking Sharknado. Not even going to check the other 2 checks or check out what the spike tile is in there. Now this room here has 4 different formations in it. The room just south of the stairs has waters. And vanilla, and that can kind of roll into anything. So I mean, it's one of the freer rooms you can check spike tiles on. Just wanted to point that particular room out for anybody.
Go back to some of the world tour after we kill Kraken.
Yeah. I mean, you're more than welcome to, but I think that at some point in time we'll be able to go over all the different ones in a different flag. So we still got 4 more weeks, man. We're only on week 4.
Can't believe we're almost halfway there.
I know, it's crazy. We already have 25 people signed up for the Duckling Derby. 25. It's insanity. But Kraken Battle is going to go about as Kraken-y as you expect. A bunch of bracks are going to get thrown out here. We're going to attack and do some stuff. It's going to be something. Either Kraken's going to lose HP or he's going to get turned into a statue.
And it looks like it's a statue, and then we just push the statue over and he gets broken to pieces.
Yep. So Ale is going to go on ahead and show us the spike tiles here. So this is this whole floor is known as Sharknado floor, but this is the room that everyone talks about when they're talking about Sharknado, because the original spike tile in that room is, of course, Gersharks and Wizzahags. This room down here has the water tile that I mentioned earlier. It's a free tile because you can check the tile, and if it's something good that you like, you can go down, and then you're hugging that wall there, and you won't take an off-tile encounter. So it's one of the safer grinds you can do on this particular floor, especially if there's something scary like ghosts or, all these lobster packs or whatever. If for whatever reason you don't like grinding that water tile there, you can always go into the room Ale's about to go into here, and you can check the bottom tile in this room. It's the same tile, it's water tiles. Whereas this tile here, I think in vanilla, is the assorted mummy and bird tile. Kind of French vanilla here.
I will go find out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the assorted mummies bird tile. So
Yeah, sounds right.
Yep.
Wiz
that is
mummies,
correct.
cockatrices, and perilisks. Lastly, if you go up here to the other light axe room, or the far right room here, not far right, but right room, there's two tiles here. There's this tile, which is the seafood party platter, and then of course your Sharknado tile as well. So those are your four tiles that exist on this floor. Thank you, Ale. That was exciting.
And that's the most awkward way to get out of Sea Shrine.
Not even going to use... No, that's right. You couldn't afford exit, so not even going to use exit.
Yeah, don't even have it.
As we use 7 warps to get out of Sea Shrine.
I mean, that's why I figured I'd go back and do it. It's the nice thing with that Black Mage Blursing, I have spell charges for days. Like, I'm net level 19. I have 9 spell charges across the board, as we'll see here in just a second. So it's not like I'm lacking for spell charges on the Black Mage at this moment.
Yeah. Esper Dykstra in chat wondering, Dykstra? That's what I'm gonna call you. It was not 4 sharks. It was 1 to 2 Gersharks and 1 Wizahag. I did pronounce it right. All with me. Crushing it. So it looks like Ailmarkin is going to go on ahead and do the airship, even though we're still looking for the chime. Never mind. I was going to say we're floaterless, but we're not actually.
I mean, granted, we do have access to 2 incentive locations without getting the airship, but it's the airship. You go faster.
It's way quicker to get in the air and check these last 2 locations. And the only thing we haven't seen as far as fetch quest is concerned is the bottle and the slab, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're either going to have a long fetch, or not really long, but a medium fetch quest to one of those items, or they're both going to be a fetch quest. And there's our bottle.
Yep. So the dream here is that this is the slab up here. You can do the slab translation and then turn in the bottle and the slab at the same time. Now, what's gonna happen is that the bottle is probably gonna turn into the slab, and then you're gonna have to make trips back, and I'm sure it's gonna lead to the chime.
You're just going for like 2 for 2 on a commentary curse, aren't you?
I'm looking for the dream for you, man.
He just wants it to go longer. That's what it is.
Right?
I mean, you're doing really well. I mean, even though we're kind of going slowly and going over things, I mean, there's your slap. See, look at me. I'm not trying to commentate or curse. I'm trying to, yeah. Trying to get all the good vibes out there. So getting the slab here, like I said, is very nice because we're obviously right next to Melmond. We can turn the slab into the Doctor of Linguistics. The man that can teach languages in less than a second.
I mean, when the Lefinish only know one word, it can't be that difficult, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just translate lupa to that's it. All the words. All right, so Ail's gonna head over to Lefane. We're gonna get either the chime or the katana for this, and then obviously the other turn in will either be, well, the chime or the katana, because we've done all our fetch quests. So overall, I'd have to say pretty smooth run. Like, I mean, gosh, like having 3 fiends down under an hour. Everything was routed pretty smoothly. Overall, not too bad, not too bad. And there's our Astos. Oh no!
He's protecting the endgame weapon. Too bad nuke happened.
A katana +3, not too bad. Too bad. And the problem with Shuffled Astos is by this point in the game, I completely forget it's on. Like, wait, what?
Should just be one of those things. Astro just kind of shows up like, hey, yeah, it's me. Here's the item. Don't even worry about fighting me, because yeah, we know how this is going to end.
Yeah, I really think Shuffled Astos is like for the lulz. It's not a good flag or a bad flag. It's just silly and fun. It's kind of like the old school Confused Old Men that kind of went away last year. It was the flag that was always on because it was hilarious, and then everybody was like, oh, but it's not really that fun.
It's fun if you're the viewer. It's not when you're the runner.
Yeah, and there's our chime. She goes down to the bottom of the lake and grabs a bell. How long has it been down there? Does the bell even work? Is it going to even get you into this tower? We're about to find out. Okay, we're fine.
It's a magical chime, so it's immune to rust and all of that.
Ah. So at this point, I don't imagine Ash. Who are you? Ale? I almost called you Asher. What am I even saying here? I don't imagine Ale at this point checking any chests. Because, I mean, we've been talking about the gear for a long time. We found like 18 gold +5s, and the pro rings +6 were for sale. Got 2 ribbons. We got a katana +3. I think we're pretty good. I don't really see him checking chests, but he may surprise me.
He might check chests just to spite you at this point.
He should. just like full clear sky. I won't let Greg tell me what I'm doing.
It's like, I want to go find that 3rd ribbon if it even exists in the game right now.
Chime is not part of the multi-instrumental, I don't think. I think it's like some other thing. Because that would be way confusing.
Yeah, that would be super confusing. You got the chime. It's like, cool. Wait, why can't I get into Mirage again? Here, you got the other chime.
Yeah. So Ash,
Try again.
whoever you are, Ale is gonna. Am I having a stroke here? Is the real question. Ale is gonna go ahead and check the pro cape room, just because he's proving to me that he did need all that 2,000 gold in those rooms. And this is the one of the greed checks here. These 4 boxes, because you need like your 3rd Thor's hammer.
I mean, I think we found like 4 Zeus gauntlets, 3 Thor hammers, so like everybody can cast Lightning 2 in multiple slots if we had all those Zeus gauntlets we left behind.
And Ale completely invalidates his game by going left here. So I guess one of us
There's a reason for it.
Oh yeah? Oh, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. The old, we got to see him. You're looking for him for us. What's going on here? I'm assuming we're looking for a robot on this floor, just hanging out.
I mean, patrolling war mech is turned on. Uh-oh.
Uh, oh, 86 ribbons. Which one? I thought you had 2 ribbons. What's going on?
I do have 2 ribbons. They're on the bottom,
Oh,
too, guys.
okay. So what is this person doing, if that's a real question here? What we are doing is we are looking for a robot that exists on this floor because we have a flag currently on called Patrolling War Mech. And Ale completely doing what I do in every single time I play this game is I don't buy softs. So that when I turn into a statue, I can't do anything about it.
He's got more softs.
No, I think you used your last one, didn't you?
He's got the
No,
spell.
yeah, I have the spell, but we're not going to worry about that right now.
And there's Warmech. He looks like the robot in the waterfall there. So this is our first look as he tempers up that black black mage there.
You know, just saying, I think there is a reason why he kept the red mage as a statue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's not just because he wants the experience to go to these members. Do you happen to know what the red mage's name is, Gregory?
Yeah, I saw.
It's Payback.
It is Payback. I mean, Ale just could not stay alive in my particular seed. Boom! 10 hits, 1,100 damage, and that's a dead war mech if I've ever seen one.
I'm suddenly a little bit less worried about my levels now.
Yeah. So what's your max HP right now? Just under 400 at level 24? That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out that due to the blur things, and I'll take a moment to show it here in just a second. But our level 20 red mage and our wonderful level 24 white mage still both have more HP than that ninja. all due to the blur things and this.
Yeah, you did get a lot of vitality and a lot of like max HP bonuses there. All right,
Which
so
the ninja did get like the plus 20, so he's got a little bit himself, but
Esper Dykstra again, Lursing. The old malices and bonuses. As Ale pointed out, just click on your character, hit select, and it shows you, what new attributes they get or what they will lose. But we're going to talk about this Tiamat battle here real quick. We got Brax coming out because, I mean, it's Tiamat. Tiamat's weak to poison. Brax is a poisony kind of spell, right?
he was also, well, I guess he's also evasive because that first turn it was 1 hit for 1 damage, too, so.
Yeah, and that's crazy considering it's a Katana +3, and Katana has the highest crit rate in the game. But Brack's going to take down Tia, and we're going to get to level 25, and I think that Ale's pretty good to go. Do you think you need more levels? Probably not, huh?
Maybe not levels, but now I'm really wondering where the heck all my lock spells landed up, because I haven't seen them yet. So I'm going to go check real quick to see if I'm just overlooking them. Because that Tia got me scared.
No, I'm pretty sure we have not seen lock spells, so 7 and 8, they've got to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here torturing Ale. It's kind of what we do for the Duckling reveal. No? Unless lock 1 is in Lefane and lock 2 is in Onrak. Or did we just miss it because it was like level 1 and it wasn't that important at the time?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely those times where you're not really paying attention to a spell like Lock or Lock 2 in the early game. And I'll definitely forget that they exist in like a shop like Canary or Provoca. We're going to find out right now. Are we getting double locks here? Got 1 lock.
And that lovely part about the Black Mage spells, it's a level 7 spell, you're level 25, it's okay. You still got 9 casts.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's a good bonus right there. Yeah. Lock, Petron wondering in chat, what's lock good for? Lock is especially good for higher scaling. It lowers the evade. It's basically a reverse invis spell. So it lowers an enemy's evade, it lowers an enemy's evade by 40. So all you gotta do is cast like 6 locks on something, and it can't dodge anything. It's gonna get hit all the time, and every time. But it's usually good, better for higher scaling, especially once you start getting to these final bosses here, where they could potentially roll up to like max evade, that sweet 240 agility. That way, the only way you can actually land a hit is if you crit them.
Yeah, which I was going to bring this up since the question was asked, but DVS did answer it for us. But just in case for the people watching, the difference between lock and lock 2, lock is single target, lock 2 is a multi-target.
Yeah. And Ale is going to actually validate this run, and that's more of a joke. Obviously, the run is fine if you don't check those boxes. It's just kind of a meme. People call them the validation boxes. Fog and Fog 2 do stack. I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it's 16 absorb, if I remember correctly.
Fog, according to what I'm seeing, Fog 1, or just regular Fog, is 8 points, and Fog 2 is 12 points, but Fog 2 affects your entire party.
Okay. I was getting that mixed up with how much damage Saber gives you. Because I think Saber gives you 16. But anyways, that's good information. So Fog gives you an extra 8 absorb, and it does stack, but it's only single target, whereas Fog 2 gives you 12, and it is a multi-target spell, similar to Invis. I know some people would, kind of trash on Fog, but I think any spell that helps in that helps defensively, especially once you get to the later game, is welcome. If Invis 2 rolls level 7 and you got Fog at level 1 and it doesn't share a slot with anything more useful, I'm throwing some Fogs out there.
It might be the difference sometimes.
Especially when you're talking about the co-op style flags where like scaling super high. Speaking of, coming around the corner on Friday, guys, I hear that co-op Double Dragon League is starting with the Iron Goal thing. Is that correct? There's going to be a rumble, and we are going to crown our first ever tag team champion for the FFR community. Pretty excited to see that. So it looks like we're going to completely disrespect Lich here. Is he got 6 hits for 370, and a nuke takes down Lich 2. So if you're here, you're hanging out, you're watching RPG Limit Break, and you're seeing that Final Fantasy Randomizer is happening with 2 guys talking about random stuff while one guy plays. Guys, this is the Duckling Reveal. This is kind of here to help newer players understand the game and get better at the game. We are running a Duckling Bootcamp. This is week 4 that we're looking at right now. What we are going to be calling, I guess, thief strats, right? Because that's why we have the thief. We have a forced thief. We have class change already done. It's free class change. And we're just kind of running through these flags here. 4 more weeks after this, and then we get into our Duckling Derby. So if you are liking what you see, this looks interesting, looks like it's fun, please join the Discord and hang out with us. And go to Duck Pond and ask all the questions you want to ask, and somebody will be around to answer the questions for you. I'm super excited about all the new people we have joining the community. Like I said before, I think 25 people so far have signed up for the upcoming Duck Derby. Kraken doing Kraken things and completely wipes out that red mage. Poor Greg. getting the ale treatment from last week.
The Black Mage didn't fare too much better.
I didn't see the damage output, but I figured it was going to be a dead Black Mage regardless. Ooh, Kraken does land a hit. That was still a pretty monstrous hit from Kraken considering how much gear Link has. Gonna go on ahead and throw that Cure 4 out there. White Mage does survive. Whew. That was a close one.
Yeah, it sure was a close one. I was clenching a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm sure Ale was too. Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, go on ahead.
I was going to say I plead the fifth, but yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything scarier in Final Fantasy Randomizer than the all melee Kraken 2 script.
Yeah, it's one thing when you might scale low, but it's like we've got a 50 to 200 on these bosses, so it's like Kraken. It's like it's nothing to sneeze at if he ends up rolling high, which he didn't roll super high, but it was enough to basically almost one-shot everybody in that party.
Yeah, it's right now still doing a lot of the same that we've been seeing. Conserve some of those temper charges for the next battle, so it's going to throw out nukes there. Going to switch to lock strats. Again, just to lower that evasion so that you can land a few more hits with the ninja there. 12 hits. Was that 160 or was that 1600? Am I losing my mind?
That was 167.
Wow. That was big old chunky Tiamat there with all the absorb. It's kind of like the exact opposite of the other Tiamat that had all the evade. Question in chat. Yes, you can brack any of the Fiend refights, but it's of much lower odds. It's not a straight up 3 and 256, but it's pretty low. It's like, oh, yeah. Luffy saying it is 3 and 256. I thought it was a little bit higher. Have to ask somebody like Crab Cakes or Spells Up that would probably know. Yeah, Rock Solid throwing out there that it's closer to about pretty low percent there. But we got Chaos coming up here. We got Tempers. Got nukes for days. Chaos pulling out the old Kraken 2 Lit 2 action.
Yeah, we're not scared of the lightning too, and the punch wasn't really scary either. So we're more scared of potentially any skills or spells that we haven't seen because we really haven't seen too much.
That is very true.
Fiend, so who knows what he has?
Yeah. And big old smack there, it looked like from the ninja. Not too bad. Looks like he's not even going to mess around with any sort of buffing. He's just going to go on ahead and throw a lockout and let his other two characters wait. Lock, wait, attack, wait. And another hit. Chaos still standing, not playing around.
Yeah, I believe he rolled up on the HP. We'll see how much.
Yeah. So Burt Reynolds in chat helping us out, getting us the correct information on racking the refights. But big old monstrous hit there for nearly 2,000 HP. Chaos goes down. Get your GGs out there for El Markin helping us out here with our Duckling reveal. That was a good seed.
Yeah, nice and quick. Spells were nice for the most part. Kind of level 4 was a little bit crowded for the red mage, but
Yeah, it was nice that it kind of forced us to do all the early Interseas stuff first before we could even get out and venture around. So got to see a couple of the strats there, like making use of that improved MP Blursing for the Black Mage. That was actually really paid off in spades for us tonight.
Yeah. Especially having that those warp charges. I mean, having 3 warp charges even at level 6. What were you? Your characters were at level 6, correct?
Yeah, I think it was 7 or so. 7 or 8 by the time I went in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So able to run away 30 or 93 times. I guess the thief did something right.
Yeah, finally. It's only taken him a Blursing and some interest in scaling and no loose where we still open up 100 boxes to make it work. But hey, you know what? Started promoted is a lot of fun.
Yeah, starting promoted is fantastic, I think, because then you don't have to worry about going back and getting the same stuff. It's all good. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, I kind of already went into it before we went into the chaos battle. But again, if you're checking this out on RPG Limit Break, you're enjoying what you're seeing, please join the Discord. Duck Derby starts in January 17th. We have a sign-up sheet under the Duckling Weekly. I'll be posting the next Duckling Weekly, which will be these flags that Ale did with a different seed tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. with the sign-up sheet in the link as well. So if you're interested in that, feel free to sign up for the Duckling Derby. You've got to be relatively new to play. It's like a newer player style tournament. Sir Link-a-Lot here with me was the most recent Duckling Supreme, and he can tell you all about it. What'd you think of it?
I mean, it was a great deal of fun. The only part that I don't like about winning the thing was the fact that I don't get to run again. Because it was a lot of fun. Like even if you feel like you're not in a position to where I'm not going to win the thing or anything like that, it is still a lot of fun to be able to just race with your fellow ducklings and kind of see where you match up. Even you're doing the weeklies right now. You look at the leaderboard, you're seeing yourself in the lower half rather than the upper half. Still, it is a learning experience and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah. So not on Monday, but the following Monday, we will open up our Duckling Derby room so people can chat about it. We will have all the rules, the flags for the Duckling Derby, and times and dates for the Duckling Derby. Signups will still be going on through to the Saturday before the Duckling Derby actually starts. But we'll get all the information out there for everybody so that you guys can get your schedules together if, for whatever reason, the time that the races happen doesn't end up fitting the time that you put on your availability, because we're trying our best. But with 25 different people running, there's only so much you can do as far as getting a time that all 25 people can run. So... But hopefully getting the information out there a month in advance will get people to maybe get their schedules figured out, because we want to have a 100% turnout. Because I think last time we had 29 ducklings in the Duck Derby, and I want to say pretty much all of them ran. I think Jat missed one race, and then by race 4, a couple people didn't run because they were kind of out of the thing anyway, but I think it ended up working out really well. So overall, Ale, do you have anything for us as the runner?
No, I mean, I think it was a lot of fun. I think the biggest thing, just to turn myself into a broken record, because I throw it out there every week that we do this, just, be aware of the flags before you run it, kind of understand as you're running through, what your options are, what your choices are. Yeah, and then just adapting to it. Pay special attention. I know we have a number of guides pinned in. I think they're in 2 different places currently for all the class blessings that explain what they do. So if you roll these types of seeds to practice using these flags, or you don't understand what the class blessings do, you can either ask in the Discord, or we can throw out pull up that guide. You can take a look in there. They're all listed there. And really, I think the last thing to throw out is with these flags, just because they're not, there's a, it's a 0 loose flag set. Don't be afraid to open boxes. I mean, that was kind of the fun of it, is you have randomized treasures on, wealth is high, so more than likely you'll be finding better stuff in boxes. You're not going to hopefully be finding a lot of 3 gold boxes.
Yeah, find 4 Thor's hammers or something, you just be decked out in Thor's hammers, right?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. And as always, ask questions in the Discord if you have any. We have a plethora of people willing to sit back and answer and give any kind of knowledge, feedback, or advice they can.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good to go. I think that went really well. All I could say, join the Discord. Also, whenever I post the flags, feel free to run a different seed of the same flags. That way you can kind of maybe get a practice in if you want to do that. That's obviously something you're more than welcome to do. It's, you know, just to get yourself kind of acclimated to the idea of what the flags are before running the official Duckling seed. That's always always welcome. And yeah, I got nothing else, man. We're gonna have the Duckling seed released tomorrow at 10 a.m. Sir Link-a-Lot, anything else from you before we?
Danny kind of left us some notes just in case you want to go over, since we were talking about events as far as kind of what we have going on this week. If you're just watching, potentially you already know what's going on. Maybe you want to do some races. We do have a couple weekly races. We do have a weekly race tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Tuesday we have an Iron Goal heavy metal rank match between Caleb and DBS at 8:30 p.m. Thursday is the second weekly race, which is going to actually be these flags that we just ran tonight. So, if you want to see how you stack up against other members of the community outside of the asynchronous race for the Ducklings, that would be a really good time to do it if you can make it. And then, we talked about it before, but Friday night, we do have the first ever Iron Gold Double Dragon Tag Team Rumble at 10 p.m. Eastern, and it'll be restreamed right here on RPG Limit Break.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thanks for getting all that out there for us, Link. I'm going to go on ahead and take it to Dark Moon to see us out. Everyone have a good night.
Want to thank everyone for watching this presentation of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Boot Camp Flags Week 4. If you're interested in watching this or any of the previous runs so far, they will be, of course, here on the RPG Limit Break channel on Twitch in VOD form, as well as over on our YouTube playlist, which Danny3883 has been so kind to post a link for in chat. If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, want to see how to get to other VODs from us from Final Fantasy, past races, and other so forth, you can do a search for Final Fantasy Randomizer on YouTube, or come to the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. You can get that link and so much more from FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. The randomizer is there, as well as links to our Discord and our development Discord. Come hang up with the community, see what all the Ducklings are doing right now, find the link to the YouTube playlist there as well, and maybe start running these flags as well, along with everything else that we have going on there at the Discord. We would love to see you join up with our community. From myself, Gregory Puff, Ale Markin, and Sir Link-a-Lot there in the booth, we thank you for watching, and we hope you guys have a good night. Until next time.